One of the biggest myths about anxiety is that it has to be managed, it can't be cured. I'm determined to prove that wrong, as many before me have. It's a message that I try and carry on TikTok, is that recovery is possible. And hopefully if people can see me do it, then they can do it too. Just got to know how. It all starts with knowing how the nervous system works. Once you understand how the nervous system works, that doesn't cure you, but puts you in a good position to actually understand why acceptance is so crucial. It's so frustrating when you go to therapists and stuff and they tell about acceptance. They never tell you why acceptance is important. They don't tell you why it works. And if you're anxious, you're gonna doubt it, aren't you? You know, we've got anxiety. So we need to understand why it works. And for that, we need to understand the nervous system. The reason acceptance works is because you stop fighting. And when you stop fighting, the parasympathetic nervous system becomes the dominant nervous system. And the sympathetic nervous system, which is causing all of the symptoms, all of the panic, all of the fear, desensitizes. You don't have to be a neurobiologist, you don't have to be a brain surgeon, but you do have to understand the nervous system, just the basics of it, because otherwise you're just going to fight against the method of acceptance, like I did for 20 years. You know, when you have to describe a feeling that you've got, right, with anxiety, that's pretty nailed on that it's anxiety causing it. Or rather, more specifically, it's the nervous system, the functioning of the nervous system causing it. Because when you have a real physical illness, or mental illness for that matter, right, when that's the case, the symptoms are very finite. They're very specific and they're very finite symptoms of illness, generally speaking. When you have to go to the doctor and say, you know, doctor, it feels a bit like, you know, when you go outside and your hands are really cold and you can't do your zip up properly because your hands are numb. Well, feels a bit like that, but also with a little bit of tingling. When you're having to get really descriptive, then it's the functioning of the nervous system that's the problem, right? And this is the other thing that you need to understand. We all need to understand about anxiety. Is anxiety, there's kind of two parts to it. There's what I like to call bloodstream, right, anxiety, which is when adrenaline gets released into the bloodstream, right? That has a very finite list of symptoms, and you see it on the NHS website. If you Google anxiety symptoms, you see, you know, racing heart, shortness of breath, dizziness, you know, stuff like that, right? That's the bloodstream anxiety, and that's caused by the adrenal glands releasing adrenaline into the bloodstream. We all pass that, right? We all pass that very, very quickly, right? And we enter the next level of anxiety, which is when the nervous system becomes sensitized. And what that means is the functioning of the nervous system changes. And it changes because it comes to expect fear being the dominant thing and the required thing. So the nervous system begins to change its functioning because of fear and stress being the dominant part of the nervous system. And neuroplasticity takes effect.